everyone. Welcome to the We Got You Mama show. I, as always, am so excited to be here with you. And I have my friend Lucy Osborne. Hi, Lucy.
Hi.
Lucy Osborne is the global leader of intenSati. It's a feel-good fitness that's more than a workout. You guys, what's more than a workout? intenSati. So we're going to delve more into that. But more about Lucy. So she's known for making movement feel like a celebration. I got like a little like tiny taste of what she does this last week, and I was like, I love you. So she blends affirmations, sweat, and soul into an unforgettable practice. It feels like a celebration, right? This practice that awakens joy, power, and possibility. And with her signature blend of delight and depth. Do you love those D words? I love those D words. Delight and depth. She guides people to step into their power and presence by using the most accessible tools they have: their body, their voice, and their focus. She's also the voice of the Miracle Morning app, and I'm so excited to learn more about that. And is a mom to a cute little toddler, and she gets to live in LA out here with me. And intenSati has been taught, like, it's out there, right? It's been taught at Google, Nike, Summit, Reebok, Twitter, the Today Show, Good Morning America, more and more, and is featured in publications like Oprah's O Magazine, Vogue, Psychology Today, Shape, Women's Health, the New York Times, and Glamour, and the list keeps going and going, right? So this is like, people are catching on, like, this is awesome. And she's offering a free class to you guys. So don't forget to check out the show notes and to follow her on Instagram at the Lucy Osborne. What cool handle is that? You're like, if you have to stick a "the" in front of your name, you know, you're like big time. Like, I got to change mine. The Carly Church. I think that's inspired me to change my name. All right. So did I miss anything? Anything you'd like to add?
That's everything. That's everything and more. Those are the things I do: parenthood, intenSati, guided practices, delight, depth, all that.
All right. Awesome. So tell me more about feel good fitness.
Yeah.
I think we are so often, women especially, so hard on ourselves when it comes to moving our bodies, getting our body back after a baby. I'm like, can we just like cut that language all together? It's all an evolution, right? And we actually need to learn how to feel good in our movement. And I feel like you preach that oh so well. So what does feel good fitness actually mean? And how is it different from how most people, approach working out?
Yeah. So intenSati is feel good fitness. It certainly is fitness. So we're not saying that it's not. You will sweat, you will get a calorie burn, you will burn muscle, you will build muscle, burn fat, all those things that you do at the gym. But that's 0% of our focus in how we talk about it and how we approach it. Because what intenSati is it's an hour-long class, music's blasting. We're doing cardio moves from kickboxing to high intensity interval training to dance to the 8 cal, like super fast. And on top of every move, we're shouting an affirmation like, I'm powerful beyond measure, I have everything I need, I'm stronger than I think. So it becomes, as we layer move after move and affirmation after affirmation, this chant that we're saying in unison, that we're saying with our own voice paired with the movement of our own body. So it changes the way we feel. And so that's why it's feel good fitness, because it's still fitness, but the focus is really on moving the feeling, moving the energy, moving the state. So if I walk in low energy, I can create that energy for me walking out the door. So it's about co-creation, and it's about climbing the ladder. So the claim is not like come in depressed and come out enlightened. Sure. That could certainly happen, but it's climbing the ladder. If I'm feeling awful, can I at least feel courageous, right? Can I pull that energy up a little bit? If I'm already walking in feeling good, can I walk out feeling so joyful? So it's about climbing that energetic ladder and feeling better than I did when I walked in, not because anything on the outside changed, but because everything on the inside changed. The way I was speaking to myself in my head, the way I was narrating my life out loud, my physiology, so my posture, my facial expression, the way I'm moving, and what my mind is focusing on. Is it focusing on the worst case scenario, or is it focusing on possibility? And it would be like, what does any of that have to do with fitness? That first of all, the narrative through the class is that, like, opening up to possibility, opening up our hearts, rebalancing the scale of the negativity bias that we hold. And then the brain can only hold one thought at a time. So if you are chanting, I am powerful beyond measure, there is no space and time for you to say, like, I look horrible in these spandex. Like, we are, like, moment after moment focusing on something else. So it feels really good.
Yeah. That's so important, because how many thoughts do we have a day, right? And we hear that time and time again, right? How many times have we heard the quotes from various people, like, you think so many thoughts a day, and how many of those are negative, and what is that doing to our psyche, doing to us even physically, right? Our cortisol levels. So you talk a lot about the power of language. So when we say all these affirmations, when we say these things out loud, because I remember when I was teaching group fitness classes, we would I would spat out some things, like, during, like, a high powered, maybe movement within our HIIT class. And people were always, like, really shy about it. Right. Like, do you find that in the beginning, people are kind of like, oh, I'm so great, I'm so powerful. And you're like, let's believe it. Right. And so I would threaten, like, you will do this for 5 more minutes until you give me some, like, oomph behind it. So how does that really work, like, in that class setting? And so explain a little around that science behind that, and how these words honestly shape us, right? And how they can form how we show up, right? And how we parent. The trickle down effect, right, is huge.
Everything. Our words create our world.
Yeah.
Our words create our world, because so many of us have either similar experiences or the exact same experiences, like we were in the same room for the same event or the same meeting, but we have completely different life experiences, because our experience of our life is the filter through which we look at it, the way we remember it. And the way we remember it is what we repeat, because we don't remember every second. We remember, oh, I flubbed my speech on stage because I messed up 2 words, where the reality is maybe you had 28 minutes where it was perfect, but the story for the rest of your life will be about the time you messed up that thing on stage. So our words create our world. The words we say out loud to narrate our life that we think are innocuous, like when we're always being self-denigrating and saying, oh, no, not a big deal. Oh, when someone compliments your shirt and you're like, I got it out of the garbage. Like, we just can't say a nice thing about ourselves. And we think it's, to not brag, or to not be
humble, like, being humble, but honestly, I remember taking a coaching class, and they're like, every time you receive a comment, you have to say, thank you, I received that. And we had to practice just that for, like, months to get out of, to kind of get out of our own head and be like, no, thank you, I received that. I've worked really hard for whatever. Or why does it have to be, like, a negative excuse? Your eyelashes are so pretty. Oh, well, I did this thing. Look,
they're fake.
It's like, so much.
And this is taking it one. And this takes it one step further, because it's not waiting for someone else to say that to us and waiting in receiving mode. It's a co-creative process. It's me getting out there saying this about myself. And so, like you said, we have 60 to 90,000 thoughts a day, but we don't say 60 to 90,000 things out loud. So when we're picking something to be spoken in the world, we're, like, giving it the gold star, saying, out of all the thoughts that exist, you are the one that gets the honor to be heard. And if we look back in our day, like, is that really the value we're giving to the things we say? Are we really picking the words and the sentences and the beliefs that really have the most value, that really are the truest? And when we look at it that way, like, it's not a throwaway, but it's a real choice we're making and a real pattern that we're setting for our brain, we might make different choices. And so I relate completely to what you were saying about, convincing people to say an affirmation, because you were in a room with me. It took a few rounds before anyone started repeating.
I was like, let's go.
We're very comfortable being like, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I could never. But we're very uncomfortable saying, I am powerful beyond measure.
Right.
That feels uncomfortable. So that's something we practice, and that we're allowed to say before we believe it, because a thought repeated becomes a belief. So if I want to believe that I'm powerful, I don't sit around and wait until I magically feel powerful and then I'm allowed to say I'm powerful. I say it so many times that my brain says, gosh, she won't give up on this powerful thing. I guess I better find evidence to back it up. I guess I better help her remember times when she was really powerful. And it will do just the same, the opposite. If I say I'm not good enough, the brain is such a good servant. I will find all the evidence for you. I'll find a million reasons why you're not good enough. I'll help you on this quest.
Right.
And so then all we see is that evidence. So if we start giving the brain different input, I'm powerful beyond measure, I have everything I need, instead of I don't have enough, it'll start saying, you're right. You've got this and you've got that and you've got this and you've got that. And that changes our energy. And so it's not that we're bypassing, and it's not that we're lying, and it's not that we're pretending all is well when deeper emotions exist. Right. We're feeling what's here, and then we're choosing where we go from here, what direction we're going in. And it starts with language.
I love that. I love that when you said you're choosing, right? We get to choose where to go. We get to choose where to send our thoughts. I remember someone told me, what if you put yourself like in your kid's shoes, and what if your kid was thinking all these things about themselves? And you're like, oh my gosh. You're like, so then why would you? Why would you? Right? You know, you were also once that kid. And that was really powerful to me, especially when we do say some things out loud, how that can, you know, affect our kids, you know, growing up in a generation where I found in my generation, moms were really hard on themselves and would speak it out loud, and how that affected, you know, their families or their daughters specifically. I know that at least in this community and working with moms for, you know, a decade or more, it's a feeling of maybe being lost, right? Like, where did I go? Where my body, my mind, my career shifted. That confusion and that feeling of being lost can also coexist with, like, I love this being and I love being a mother, right? I think oftentimes it's not one or the other. They can coexist. But what's a way you help women reconnect, like wherever they are right now, even and even in the middle of everything full and happening and good and bad and the ugly? What is like a way, way forward?
Yeah, well, first is starting with the awareness. So not pretending that we don't feel the way that we feel, having acceptance for that. Like, yeah, maybe I am feeling lost. Yeah, maybe I am feeling overwhelmed. So not like, let me push that aside so quickly so I can escape it, because we all know it's not going anywhere. If we sweep it under the rug, it's now under the rug. But if feeling lasts for, interesting, 60 to 90 seconds, and we have that 60 to 90,000 thought, like, so there's some correlation there, but a feeling lasts 60 to 90 seconds. What lingers is the story. So if we're like, I'm feeling overwhelmed, you're allowed to feel overwhelmed. Yeah. And you can feel that feeling without the story of, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm going to be a horrible mom when my baby wakes up from a nap, and my house is going to be so messy, and my partner's going to come home and think I'm so lazy. Like, that's the story. That's not real. What's real is the feeling that I'm overwhelmed. So first of all, feel that feeling. And then we choose what we want next. Do I want productivity? Do I want grace? Do I want help? It's like, what's the very next step for that? And so that energy shift and that mind shift around letting ourselves be consumed in a spiral. And by the way, you're allowed to do this mid-spiral. You're allowed to be like hours into a spiral and still decide and still choose. I'm going to take a breath, feel what I'm feeling right now, and then ask what's possible from here. What's possible one step from here? And it begins with language. It begins with a choice. And when we practice that over and over again, the awareness of where we are and the choice as to what's next, we start to become as powerful as we really are inside, because we're not just a leaf in the wind anymore, but we're making choices, and we're not discarding what we've been handed, which as a mother is like the entire world on your shoulders. It is a big deal. There is a lot to carry. So any practice that tells us to pretend that it's not, or try to catch up with people who've got it all figured out,
let it go.
It's disregarding the fact that there is an entire world in your care now.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I've been taking some ADHD coaching alongside my oldest daughter, because I have it and both my daughters have it, and but it expresses itself in different ways, right? And so we talk a lot about like our wiring and our thoughts and what's true and what isn't, and I love how she does that very thing, but almost like in written format for my daughter in the beginning, right? Like, okay, I had this thought. what is this true? No. And let's kind of build this out
Mm-hmm.
so that we can get back to what's true, and let's empower you in like what is actually true, like what is happening in the moment. Your brain is telling you that like they think I'm weird, I'm awkward, whatever. What is true? Are you weird? No, not really. Are you awkward? Maybe a little, but is that negative? No. Are you like, do you have, yes, I have friends, and yes, people like me for me, and yes, blah, 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 blah. And you just start to nail in all those positive truths,
Mm-hmm.
and recommitting to those positive truths, and to see that kind of shift, not only in like my mindset, right, but in this young mind. It's like so important, because as much as I'm like, what's true, because sometimes coming from someone else, I don't know, they listen a little bit better, right? But that's very powerful for us. And I think for us also teach our children, be like, let's step back. What's true? What can we replace that thought with something that is, and I love that. Yes, I'm overwhelmed. What's the next best step to not even necessarily get out of overwhelm, but like take those baby steps towards something that feels better, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we talk about overwhelm a lot because I don't know, the world is like just so chill and easygoing, and there's so much peace, and that it can be, I mean, and I talk about this often, that our nervous systems weren't built for receiving as much information as we do
Mm-mm.
at the tip of our fingertips. On a global basis, we can access so much information, and a lot of that be, negative information. And so we tend to wake up already overwhelmed. And I love hearing about different people's morning practices, because I've been delving more into research on technology and the phones and how that affects us and our children. And we go to sleep sometimes like whatever on doing this, and then we often wake
Mm-hmm.
up and it's in our face. And I think it's super unhealthy. I
Mm-hmm.
noticed the trend break for me, for my oldest daughter. And I want to change. And the times I do choose to change my morning, it goes so much better. I'm less overwhelmed. I'm less anxious. I'm not getting negative morning news right away. Not that it's not important to know what's going on in the world, but what's a simple way that we can kind of shift that state, like right from the get-go? Because so often it's like, oh, we're up and we're running, and it's this and shoes on and lunch, and like my mornings are like, I just need right.
Yeah.
But
Often running
wake
before
up,
even out of bed, often running.
yes, wake
Yeah.
up just a little earlier, take a few minutes, like, man, that can really shift. So I know you talk a little bit about on that,
Yeah.
like 5-minute kind of shift.
Yeah. So like if it's possible to get an extra 5 minutes, what I would do is some form of intenSati. So I'm not going to ask you to fit a 60-minute workout into 5 minutes, but what intenSati is physiology plus focus plus language. So moving my body in a different way, even if it's just shifting my shoulders back and putting a smile on my face. Even better if I can do 20 jumping jacks or a deep stretch, move my body in a different way. Pair it with some different language. So using an affirmation, maybe thinking, what am I worried about? And flipping it and trying that on, seeing how it feels. I am fully prepared for this meeting. I'm fully prepared for this. I'm fully prepared. I'm fully prepared. And then focus is that last part. So letting your mind for those 5 minutes stay on what if it went right? What if it went better than I could imagine? So if you can get 5 minutes, I would say insert practice here. But if you can't get 5 minutes, we make the mundane sacred. While we're brushing our teeth, we have 2 minutes there. We know we're going to have 2 minutes there. So in our head, we're thinking, it's my mouth. May every word that comes out of my mouth today be supportive and loving. May I use my words for good today. May I share love when I speak. When you're showering, you have to shower. Thank you, arms, for letting me carry my babies. Thank you, legs, for like helping me go where I want to go and keep me moving forward. So if you have time, I can certainly suggest some practices to put there. But otherwise, we take what we do and we can infuse a little bit of the physiology into it, a little bit of the language, a little bit of the refocusing. Because as much as we'd like to, we don't always have 5 extra minutes. We often feel like we have we're minus 30 by the time we wake up. So it's what are we already doing, and how can we put a little bit of this into it?
Yeah. And you recommend saying those things like out loud?
Yeah, saying it out loud is optimal because
Right.
there's no sound more healing in the world than the sound of your own voice, and no sound more impactful for your nervous system and for your neural pathways than the sound of your own voice. Certainly thinking it is 100 times better than not, but like saying it out loud is 1,000 times better than not.
Right. Yeah. So why wouldn't you want things to be 1,000 times better?
And you're even allowed to whisper it. Doesn't, you know,
Okay,
in class we scream because we've got music blasting.
Sure.
But there's something different between thinking and saying like, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm
Right.
ready, I'm really ready, I'm really ready. There's something different when you say it out loud.
100%. I mean, even psychologically and scientifically, right? When you put a voice to something, when you put a voice to a feeling. I remember studying different methods in acting class a lifetime ago, and it was like putting a voice or even an audible sigh when you're letting out energy,
Mhm.
right? And how
Yeah.
much that would help us access certain feelings, whether, you know, that we need to access anger for a scene or access, you know, a certain level of despair, right? Like putting some audibility behind even our breath work was really fascinating and would do wonders, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and let your kids hear it.
Right.
When you're making breakfast, like, we're ready for this day. We're going to be kind. Let them hear it. River, my son, he's 2, and he hears me teach intenSati on Zoom all the time from home. And he's 2, and he walks around going, be strong. Be brave. Like, and that to him is as normal as Duck Duck Goose because he hears it all the time in the home.
Yeah.
So we don't even necessarily have to be teaching our kids, you say this, you think this, but they hear mommy walking around being like, I'm ready for this day. Then that's going to train the way that they relate to the world as well.
Right. Right. And then getting them to repeat those things out loud. And how it might affect, I'm going to put this to the test, and how it might affect siblings relationships, and how I think it would just de-escalate the stressful situations of like running around or being late or whatever. I am forgiving that my mother is sometimes late. I understand.
Yes.
I can be more helpful.
Train their neural pathways. Yeah.
So you blend all this movement with affirmations in your work. And so what is behind combining the body and voice more powerful than just like, you know, putting on the earphones and doing like meditation mindset work?
Yeah. Now, again, that's incredible, important work. This is another level because it's somatic, it's in our body, and it's our own voice. So what I often say at the end of class when people are like sweating and smiling and crying and like, I can't believe how I feel, is like, you would have been perhaps like moderately inspired and delighted if you watched me shout affirmations. You might be like, wow, nice. But you saying them, you moving, that is where the magic is. I give you suggestions. Try to move like this, maybe try this affirmation on. You, the power of your own voice saying it, the retraining of your own brain, the embodiment. So instead of, which is great, thinking I am strong, what if we brought it into the physical world and said it out loud, I am strong? What if we paired that with a punch? And so right away, there's no room for cognitive dissonance. Because if I sit here on the couch and say I am strong, I might be like, where's the evidence? You have a bag of snacks next to you, your feet are up, like what's strong about this? But when you don't even have to think this linearly, it's already going on in our brain. But if you say I am strong and you throw a punch, immediately your brain is like, yeah, I am. Proof, immediate proof. So it wires in a completely different way when we embody it. And one thing I love about intenSati is that I didn't create it. I have been running the company since 2022, but I've been a partner since 2016. It was created by my business partner in 2002. At the height of like 8-minute abs fitness world. So there was no Soul Cycle. There was really no one doing anything except for like, get your body right, get skinny, get small. And this was the total opposite to that. It's like, get involved, get like your heart and your mind involved. And so I love that I didn't create it because I could just talk about how incredible it is for over and over again. And I love that it's completely backed by neuroscience and biology. So it's not just woo-woo, or it's not just an idea that I think might happen, but when we pair spoken word with movement, it retrains our neural pathways in a completely different way than thinking an affirmation or even writing it would do. So it's giving ourselves a full body experience. It's getting rid of that cognitive dissonance. It's taking words and bringing action to them immediately. Because then whether or not we're out in the world of the supermarket being like, hold on, let me do my 60-minute workout to like get in the mood, or we just remember, when we, maybe someone bumps into our cart and our reaction is usually to snap, but we remember for 1 second that we have this little pause and that we're able to access a state or an energy or a mood higher than the one we usually go to because we've trained it for 60 minutes on Saturday. It starts to show up in our lives. Like intenSati, if you do this practice or take this practice on as your own, it's the training, and then life is the practice.
Right. Do you find that it helps with moms in this, people in general, women in this burnout state that I think we're facing? I mean, I hit it hard, but, right before I sold my company and I got super sick, and I feel like something like this would have been really powerful during that time, because not only was I felt so much disappointment, but I was also like physically just so ill. What's something you see women kind of struggling with the most beneath the surface? Because I could very much put on the face and do a certain amount of things, right? But man, there's so much going on underneath that we're not talking about, that we're not, I don't know what the right term is, dealing with. And I could see how this practice could be very, very powerful, right? It's kind of like we're stuck. Sometimes I hear women be like, I feel so stuck. And a lot of times it's like, oh, it's kids, it's this, it's juggling job and blah, blah, blah. And for me, it was a pairing of 20 things at once, along with perimenopause and like the, kind of feeling hit with a truck and not knowing what to do with myself. But yeah, what was your take on that?
Yeah. What I experience most in teaching this is, first, people flock to it in either personal or societal times of distress. We're like, we don't know where else to turn. We're trying to fix things on the outside and it's not working. Maybe it's just getting worse. This is like, come home, come home, because this is all about what's right here in this body and what's right here in this energetic field. And I take care of this, and I don't need a thing. I don't need a weight. I don't need a gym. I don't need anything. All I need is my body and my voice. So I can do this in the midst of anything. And so it really has been a place where people have come through and it's like gotten us through, like when we closed down for COVID, we went online. That's when we went on Zoom. Where like no one was on Zoom 2 days into the lockdown. And we had thousands of people coming to class because we needed to do so. We needed to be self-expressed. We needed to cry. We needed to feel something that we were in moderate control of, instead of just being controlled by everything on the outside. And what I find often with women who are coming through this practice is where I came to the practice, which was really genuinely having external goals and thinking that once I met those goals, I could finally feel how I always wanted to feel. And that like one day I would feel worthy, and one day I would feel happy, and one day I would feel loved. And I was so sure it was going to happen. Just a few things needed to change. And I didn't think that was negativity. I was like, I'm on my way to finally feeling happy. But all I was telling myself over and over again is, you cannot be happy where you are. You're not allowed to feel happy until you have this thing. And so coming
one day,
totally flipped that. So all of the women and we're still allowed to have goals and we're still allowed to work towards them. It's just no longer is my worthiness hinged on it. And so that is what I find most often is this relation to our external world, and thinking that once the house is clean, I'll feel peaceful. We'll find a drawer. We'll find a drawer that's messy. We'll find a reason to not be there. And so it's like, take care of the feeling first, so that the feeling is not like conditional. And then we move into action. And then maybe we clean our house and amazing, or maybe we don't, but no longer are we a good mom or a bad mom because the action didn't get finished.
Right. What is one small daily practice. And when we talked about this sort of 5 minutes, in the morning and taking that for ourselves to kind of propel us into the day. What's one daily thing that's made the biggest difference in your life, whether recently or, something even, you're a newer mom in that sense too, right? Which is like so beautiful that you've been able to been practicing this for so long before becoming a mother. And I'm sure it's like served you greatly. Not that, not everyone is still faced with some massive challenges after a baby is born, but what's made the biggest difference for you?
Yeah, I would say I'm so grateful that I have this practice. It really has gotten me through deep grief. It's gotten me through infertility. It's gotten me through pregnancy. It's gotten me through those. And like on a very logistical small level for me, if I want my day to go right, it starts the night before. And like you were saying, like I can get stuck in my phone and that blue light and that bad news, like I'm up later than I want to be. I'm not getting restful sleep. So for me, the biggest change I ever made in my day happened the night before when I picked up my Kindle instead of my phone. My wife bought me a Kindle a few years ago, and I just said, okay, I'll try reading. And everything changed. I fell asleep more quickly. I had more restful sleep. I got up naturally earlier, in a better mood, with more energy. And that priming the night before, especially in the world of smartphones, set me off to be able to do those practices, to be able to make those choices to shift in mindset instead of running on complete empty and not even feeling like I had the opportunity to choose.
Yeah. And that's been proven if we're on electronics, up to, they say don't even get on anything up to 2 hours before bedtime, anything an hour to 45 minutes. And you're like, well, I fall asleep. And it's like, yeah, but what kind of sleep are you having? It's not a restful sleep. Like and
it can be so easy as a mom to slip into it. Cause it's like, when do I have time? When the baby's asleep. So when do I get to see what my friends are up to and see what's on the news? It's like, nap time or bedtime. So it can be it was really easy for me to slip into scrolling at night because I was like, oh, it's me time. I'm free. I could do whatever I want. I could pick up my phone, try not to be on it too much on the kids. So like now it's my time. And I really allowed myself more and more and more time there. And it was making me feel worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. And then to be able to shift into something and then start practicing that and then notice how much better you're feeling. And that's what gets us addicted to the next positive thing, right? Is you're like, oh, I feel better. Oh, I need to keep doing this because it makes me feel better, right?
Yeah.
I love that so much. If a mom is listening today and could take one thing from your work and apply it immediately, what would that be?
And there's so many things I'd want to say and share, but again, going back to what I know is true, I could say anything and you might feel like it's true or you might feel inspired, but just try a 10-second change in physiology. So if you're listening right now, put your shoulders back and down, take a deep breath and put a light smile over your face and just say, I have everything I need. 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 And like, it doesn't change when I open my eyes, anything that exists in front of me, but even just a breath infused with language, infused with a change in physiology starts to create a shift. So there's so many things I'd love to say to moms about how worthy we are and how powerful we are. But really, I would love for you, mom, to have the experience in your body of something a little different.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes we need it as we start a new practice or start learning something that's different for us, that's new, just those simple things and starting to apply them, right? Putting the phone away at night, taking a few minutes in the morning and taking a deep breath and repeating, I have everything I need. That's a beautiful way to start and then start noticing those shifts, right? So if someone wants to are you still teaching online? Are you if someone's like, this is my jam, I want to take an in-person class from you.
Yes.
But what does that look like if we want to connect with you or take a class or?
Yes. So intenSati.com,
Okay.
INTENSATI. The first thing you'll see is like sign up for class. And if you do that, your first class is free. So you don't need a special code or anything. You just go to the first thing you see on the website. I teach Saturdays on Zoom. We have people join from all around the world. I have other teachers on my platform that teach throughout the week, and we do pop-up events. So I'm teaching a retreat in Greece next month. It is unfortunately sold out, so you can't join that one, but we go somewhere new every year, and next year's is spectacular. So stay tuned on social media, the Lucy Osborne, for what's next. I'm also teaching a retreat that is still open at the Omega Institute in Rhinebeck, New York over Memorial Day weekend. And then if you're in LA, I pop up here and there if you follow me on social media or hop on my newsletter, which is brand new as of this year. It's called The Uplift, and it's really a mini magazine to your inbox. It's completely free. It is not just a list of offerings. It's like crossword puzzles, it's playlists, it's what's in, what's out. It's every week, it's a new set of like magazine features with a blog post. And then of course at the end, like where you can find us in person and online. So depending on like where you want to be, is it email? Is it social? Is it in the woods in New York? Right. We're there.
There, all the things. And Greece, how fun. Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm already starting to plan some sort of summit retreat. It's been a vision I've had for a really long time. And I've talked with some of my friends from Australia, and it's going to happen.
Yes.
And I'm just going to put out there, Lucy will be there teaching.
Yes.
It's amazing. It won't be in Australia. They want to come over here. And
I was like, I'll go.
That's easier for me, I guess, when you guys come over here. But like, anyway, so stay tuned. Early 2027. If you don't plan now, it might not come to fruition. So we get to plan early, and we get to look forward to big things. But yes, if you want to connect with Lucy, just all those multiple platforms and ways to connect with her. So please, please, please do. I will be coming to a Saturday class very, very soon, which I am super pumped about. Because again, I got to experience Lucy just like a little taste, and I was like, I love what she's doing. I love what she's putting out in the world. And I really love to see the effect on women as, I look around the room and how they repeat these things, and to see those minor shifts. And so it can be so very, very powerful. And as those empowered women go out in the world, that ripple effect is quite huge, especially as they bring that, I don't know, that I don't want to say like level of positivity, but bring that shift into their homes, and how that can really change, I would say, an entire family, of maybe helping everyone feel a little more emotionally regulated, right?
Absolutely.
I love that so much. Well, thank you so much, Lucy, for joining us. Lucy's got you, mama. We got you, mama. If this resonated with you, please like and subscribe. And if you're like, hey, I want to do this class with all my friends, please forward on this episode, introduce them to Lucy, send them the link to the free class. You guys should all come together. How fun is that? Like, we can send a link to a free class to anyone in the world, and we can all join together online. We're far enough out of COVID. It doesn't have to be traumatizing.
It's really, really fun. It's quite the opposite.
Yes, heaven knows I brought a whole fitness community online during COVID, and I'm far enough out of it where I feel like, okay, I think I can come back and not feel PTSD.
No, we have the best time.
I bet. I love it so much. Well, thank you so much. And
thank you, Carly.
Until next time, we got you, mama.